Welcome to Trading Lounge in the SP 500 for the 16th of October. So just in regards to the trading levels, we're looking at 3,000 here, which is a major trading level. And in a nutshell, if we're going to be bullish in this market, well, we simply want this as support, don't we? So obviously, to get support, it takes a little time to arrange that. So normally we would see some sort of move to this area, some sort of reaction to this area, and then we want to see the first high above the level. And once we've got that first high, that becomes a reference point to be long at that point. Normally we'd see some sort of other sort of thing like this occur and we can get better positions. But in a nutshell, we really want to see this as support, not resistance at the moment. So we can see that it's tried to do this before. We've had these highs here, but we've never it's never sat on there. This was probably the best one here, but it never sat there to give us that trigger to the upside at that point. So in a nutshell, just visually, this is sort of what we're looking at here. And at the moment, we've just arrived here, so we can expect a reaction from here. And because of the previous highs here as well, you know, there's going to be a lot of indecision here. So it's an area where you don't really want to get chopped up a lot with all of this here, but what we are looking for in the longer term is support on these levels here. So just drilling in here to our trades page where we normally look at it on the hourly chart here. I need to talk about this a little bit. So we've been looking at the market in a bullish mode. So in the bigger picture, we can look at this in terms of we can look at it like this. We can look at it as wave 1 and 2 here and wave 1 and 2 here. There is a count that we're also looking at as well on the tick chart, which is wave 1 and 2 to this point here. It just depends on how you count some things in here, a bit of a difference in the cash market, but we'll get to that. The other point with all of this too is that the move up here so far, really, if we looked at this wave 1 here and 2 here, then it would leave this here as, well, a 3-wave structure to this particular point here. And in that case, we could look at the market in a corrective mode here. So we could look at the move down here has been in 3 waves here, and the move up here can also be in 3 waves here as well. So we still got a little bit more to finish in here. We can look at that. Yeah, and then move much deeper into this area through here. So that's a possibility, and that would look a little bit like this on the daily chart here, where we've got a bit of a triangle pattern happening here. I don't know if this is the case, but it's just something we need to put on the table and be mindful of in terms of an A wave here, a B wave here, a C wave here, a D wave here, and an E wave here. So that's also possible, and then we can move up from that point. Coming back into our hourly chart here, where we've got our trades on, and we'll move into the tick chart here. So I'd been, you know, when you logically look at this little move here, you can count this as 1 here and 2 here and 3 and 4 and 5, and that may be the case. And then we're looking for a corrective move back. It didn't pull back to the 50-60% retracement level. In fact, it pulled back more like into our wave 4 area here and looking for wave 5 to the upside. Not that this has affected any of our trading in this, because we've been long here and here, and also here as well on top of 72. We can bring the stop from here, we can bring that up to here, now up into this space here, and we'll take a look at all of this, and we'll take a look at all of this on the tick chart now as well here, counting up from the low here on 100 ticks. So I'll just bring a bit more data into this here. So yeah, look, when I count from this low here, it's a little bit wave 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to here to make this wave 3 and ABC for wave 4 here. And that suits quite nicely here too, because if I take it from this low here, roughly in there, missed it a little bit, it comes in close enough to this 38.2. So it's a really good case for this being the fourth wave here. Another way to look at this too is that you may have this structure here where we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we could have 1 and 2 at this point here, and we haven't quite overlapped wave 4 here either. So that would be another way to look at this as well here. But either way, we're still basically working this little trend to the upside here. So with that in mind, yesterday we were looking at wave 1 here and looking for wave 2 to pull back, and then we're looking for the next move up to find support on top of 72, because we're in terms of trading levels now, we've got the midpoint at 50, then 65, 72 and the 80. So this all makes up group 2 here. So when we get support on 72, we go along from that point. And obviously the target would be at 3,000. But so in this case here, we could count this up as 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4, and then extension in the fifth wave here. Doesn't feel quite right with this. So I've looked at this on a 20-tick chart. We can look at this here, which would probably be the right thing to do, as wave 1 and 2 here, and then a nice strong third wave up here. So there's two things we can look at here. I should really pull this apart here, but I think I've got this right with 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 and 5 here, but I do need to pull that apart. But in this case, if I took it from here to here, then the 38.2% retracement level is here. This has come down nicely, but I can, since I've done this, but I can see that this 5 waves here is basically done there. There's 5 waves in there. I mean, it could go up to here as wave 1 and back for 2 here and then down here, but still this area here would be, let's just look at these areas here. This is one of them. Oh, I can't draw on that side here, so say that's one of them there. And what I also want to do is just, if I've made a mistake, this is where the mistake would be, and I just wanted to see. So that would bring us in from just a bit lower, so it's not like a big deal. But that's what I was thinking anyway. Wave 3, ABC for 4 here, then up for 5 here, which will probably struggle to make that 10 there. Then back for wave 4, and then up for wave 5 here. That can probably come anywhere from in this space. This is all of group 1 here. So when a market's moving up into group 1 here for the first time, these act as really strong resistance points here, 10, 1, 2 and 3, 10, 20 and 30. So I wouldn't expect it to go too far past 20 and 30 here, so they can be targets to the upside. But anyway, that's the structure we're looking at here, 3, 4 and 5 here for that, and then down for the A wave here. So coming back to the 1 hour chart, I think that we should just take some profit here at the 3,000 and then take the rest of it somewhere close to 3,020 if you wanted to stay in the game for that. There should be, once this 5 waves finishes here, then we'll get some type of correction either to here or back down to here for that. So I think at that point we can look to, we've got that high here to start with, then we'll have the second high here, and then we can also have a smaller one in here as well. So if I'll just draw it here, there'll be some sort of smaller version of this coming into play here, so we'll be able to get lower into here, so we're not going to miss much, and that will just help us, because those bearish pictures that I showed you, if they do play out from here, then at least we've saved a bit of pocket money on this journey here, which we have put a bit of effort into it, and it's all time. So yeah, I don't particularly want to short it unless unless we got some evidence of something, so if we've got like 5 waves coming down through the top here, then we can look at 3 waves back up, and then we can look to short, over this side. But without that, I don't particularly want to trade against the trend at this stage. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated.